Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I am going to talk about everything that's related to Asiso Dongle. I will be talking the pros and cons, and I will also be answering your questions. So I have decided to make this series entirely for Asiso Dongle. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. If you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that I was selected for the Asiso Dongle 2023 and 2024, and it was a very great experience in my personal opinion. I loved the experience from start to the end. I had my shares of ups and downs that I'm going to share in this video so that it helps the current assistants who are selected for the program and also for the other assistants, upcoming assistants who want to enroll in this program. So let's begin with the pros of this program. Why you should do Asisto Dongle. So the first pro in my personal experience is that you will get to know how the teaching career works. So if you're someone who's planning to make a career in teaching, I think this is the best fit for you because you will get to know how to manage the kids, how to plan your lessons, how to make sure that every kid gets what you're teaching, and how to work in a school environment. I think it's an eye-opening experience for every person who's aspiring to become a teacher, a language teacher. I think it's an amazing experience. So for teachers, aspiring teachers, I think you should go for it. The second pro is you get to become independent and you learn to make your own decisions. Since we're living in India, I can say this, that our parents are with us all the time. They guide us, they help us. So there are chances that you might not become so independent. You are relying on them. But when you go to a place where you have nobody with you, I think you become very independent. From buying your own SIM card to opening your own bank account, you do everything on your own, and it is a great experience to help you become independent and also to gain that confidence. The third thing is you get to travel France. Of course, that's a pro, and that's a big pro. You get to travel in and around France, which again helps you gain confidence and also helps you see the world. It will help you see how beautiful the world is, and I think it is great in this program. You also get to manage your finances. Oh, that's a big thing because you're young, okay? The cohort of people to pursuing this program is like between 20 to 23. I was 26. I was pretty old for this program. I shouldn't be saying this on camera, but yes. But people are young, so it will help the younger ones to manage their finances, how to spend money, where to spend money, how you can save money for your trips. And it's amazing. I think it's amazing. These were some of the pros that I personally experienced. So let's now dive on to the cons. Just like every coin has two sides, this program has its pros and its cons. Before moving ahead with the cons, I would just like to say that this is my personal experience and these are my thoughts. I will never impose it on anyone. Everybody can be having different thoughts, so these are my cons according to me. If you disagree with it, I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't have a problem, but I am not imposing anything, and this cannot be the same for everyone. So the first thing that I would like to discuss about a delay in the salary. So this happened with me and a few other assistants this time, that we had a delay in our salary in the first month, and it was very difficult for us because we did not have so many finances, and we had to plan our finances after that accordingly. So I would advise that you take a good amount of money with you for especially surviving your first 2 months. I think that was something that I didn't look upon before, but now that I know about it, I think it was great that I know that. Second thing is finding accommodation. Yes, it can be a task. It can be a really, really big hassle, but I'm going to make a video around it on how I found my accommodation and also the mistakes that I made while finding my accommodation, and maybe you can learn from it and you can, go ahead with it. The third thing that I would like to talk about as a con is you're on your own now. Yes, you're on your own now is a pro and also a con, because I personally felt that when you were stuck in problems, there were certain things that people answered, but there were certain things that nobody helped you for, even when it comes to finances. For instance, when I did not get my salary, I emailed everyone, but nobody could help me with that. It was very difficult for me to manage my first month finances because I drained all of my finances and accommodation and everything. So I think that was one of the cons. There are not many cons here. If any past assistants would like to add any of the bad side, any of the cons from this program, you feel free to put it in the comment section below. I would love to address it, and it will be helpful for other assistants as well. I think this is it for pros and cons from my end. And for those of you who are new here, who don't know what I'm talking about, I have made a video specially about what is assistant d'anglais and how you can apply for it. I am also attaching the link for that video in the description below, so you can watch it and you can know everything about this program. For us, it's assistant d'anglais. For the Americans, for the other people, it's tapis. Okay, so now let's move on to the questions. So I put up a story on my Instagram page. My Instagram handle is @Bonjour, and I put up a story about you can send me the questions and I will address all of your questions in the video. So here we are. So I'm going to address the questions now. I'm not going to take names, but I'm going to address the questions. So the first question that we have is the salary sufficient? So that is subjective, I would say. We get like 1,013 euros. I can be wrong, but the amount is that much. And after the tax deduction, we get 833 euros exact for a month, which I believe that is sufficient. And I think sufficiency is subjective on the way you spend it. If you have if your rent is pretty low and you can manage your finances, I think 833 euros are great for you. But if you cannot do that, you spend your money a lot, I think it would be very less. So for me, I think it was fine. The amount was fine, but I would also suggest that it depends on you, so I cannot comment on it. Will it be like sufficient for you? Because at least for me, it was fine. But for some assistants, I know it was not fine, but yeah. So the second question we have is carte jeune important? So carte jeune is a card from SNCF. For those of you who don't know, SNCF is like Bharat Railways, Indian Railways. So that is like Indian Railways, the railways of France, okay? So SNCF, so the carte jeune was like for around 40 euros, and I think there's a sale that comes in and that the card price is slashed to 50% off. Personally, I didn't take it because I thought that it was too expensive. One. Second, I did not find the need to buy a carte jeune, so I didn't buy it. But if you think that you want to buy it, you can go for it. It's just a card that gives you discounts on your bookings, on your train bookings. And I think it should be SNCF trains. So I think that depends on you. I personally didn't feel the need to buy it, so I didn't buy it. Also, another important thing that I would like to say to you in this, now that we're discussing this, I feel that a lot of people will tell you a lot of things, right? A lot of people will tell you their experiences. They will tell you buy this, buy that, do this, do that. I feel that you should listen to everyone, but you should do whatever you think is right for you. Not everything that everybody says is going to be correct for you. I think you should put your own thoughts to whatever you want to do and then do it accordingly. Moving on to the third question that we have is, what all should we pack for going to France? That's a big list. Okay. So of course you'll be booking a flight which will be having like 46 kgs allowance, like 23 plus 23, and then you have your cabin baggage of like 7 or maybe 10, depending on the flight. So also, so I would say that while you can pack a lot of things, I would suggest that pack only the necessary things. I mean, only the necessary things, because you have to take those heavy luggages. Okay, you have to carry those heavy luggages on your own. There will be no coolie or anybody waiting there at the train station for you. So, and it also depends, right? There are times that you will get a direct flight to a place that you're placed in. There are chances that you will have to take a train from CDG, that's the Charles de Gaulle airport. Okay, so carrying those luggages from the airport to the train station, inside the train, outside the train, it's going to be a hassle. So you need to pack wisely. For those who want to know what to pack and what not to pack, I have made a detailed list of everything that you should be packing. Okay, you can iterate it as per your requirement, but I have done that. It's the link for that list is in the description, and you can have access to it, and I think that would help you a lot. So the next question that we have is, can we work other jobs? Well, you can't if it's on paper. If the job is on paper, you can work other jobs. Like, that's illegal. But you can obviously provide tuitions. So I also provide English tuitions to French kids. I had like a bunch of students. I used to provide English tuitions to them, and I think which is fine. So you don't have anything on paper, and you can do that. But you cannot go for a part-time job. You like, maybe you can work in a restaurant or at a shop, but that's not gonna happen, because that's not included in your visa. And then we have another question, which is how to find accommodation in France. For this, I have a separate video. I will share my experiences. The next episode is about this only. So just stay tuned, because I'm going to share all the tips and tricks to find an accommodation in France. And the last question is, how can we survive? Well, survival is something that you don't need to worry about. I think you have to be strong emotionally, mentally, and physically. And you have to, just have confidence in yourself. And I think you will get through this. You will not even realize when those 8 months have passed. So that's all for this video about Assistant d'anglais and answering your questions. I hope you found this very valuable for you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. I will try to address each and every question of yours. And in case you want any tips, in case you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on Instagram. You can send me a direct message. I will always be available for you to reply to you. And that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Au revoir.